What's up, mother? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So we going over these tall grays, man. These tall grays back at it again. We got the short grays, the tall grays. We got the reticular zeta reticuli. Talking points on the tall grays. When you think of aliens, you probably picture either a scary creature with sharp teeth or a small, gray, big-eyed being. These are often called grays, also known as zeta reticulans or Roswell grays. Across California and 20 other states, one man claimed he escaped from tall, pale, 7-foot beings from a crashed craft. From 1940s to 1960s, a flying saucer era. Sightings worldwide, US, Europe, Scandinavia. 1946, ghost rocket scare in Europe, thought to be Soviet missiles at first. Hypnosis later suggested the story might have been influenced by Betty's dreams, but UFO groups found it believable. Abduction formula became common. Taken into a ship, medical, reproductive exams, probing, sometimes sexual activity reported, return with missing or partial memory. Some scholars said the Hill story resonated because they were an interracial couple in the civil rights movement. Even the aliens seemed curious about their skin color differences. The Hill story inspired books, movies, and some abduction reports, including Travis Wilt's famous 1975 case. Alright, yeah, so I'm back, I guess. Is this thing still recording? Oh, yeah, it's recording. So check this out. This is a bunch of tall grays, short grays. Here's a gray head. It's just the head's floating in space. Man, this thing loading. My buffer rate is... I think I need more RAM. I need more RAM. Oh, God. Oh, God. Chupacabra. Juke. Yeah, here's a couple of aliens, man. This is what they look like. Tall grays, short grays. All of them got a head like this. Big eyes, whatever the case may be. But we think all those other different sightings and stuff that I just named were different historical moments in time where the tall grays and the short grays came together. They did that collab. They hit Earth and they made a big splash, man. I'm looking good today, man. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. This is probably going a little too long, but I just want you to know that the Barney and Betty Hill story in New Hampshire was tall grays. All right, maybe a couple of short grays, but man, they was rolling deep in the ship. They had a whole ship that was coming through deep. They looked like, let me see. Apparently, they was looking through the window of the ship and they were coming in hot. Betty, Barney Hill. They even got a movie, man. If you don't know, then now you know. Don't know, then now you know, because then they got some OG short gray footage. I think his name was Skinny Bob. Let me pull up Skinny Bob too. Skinny Bob for you. Here's Skinny Bob. If you didn't realize, this is one of the short grays. So we ended up kidnapping one. We put him in, basically we recorded him without his consent, so he doesn't really know. You know, he don't have no rights. Aliens don't get no rights in our country, if you know what I mean. And so we put him in a room or whatever. You know, did some interrogation on him. Maybe a couple of probes, you may hit him with some electricity, maybe water toward the alien or whatever the case may be. But this is Skinny Bob. They gave him a name and everything. But this is some OG footage of Skinny Bob. And here, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. And check it out. And check it out. I don't think he's actually gonna say anything. I mean, I think he's doing like telepathy. Not telepathy. Basically, he's doing that thing where he can communicate through his thoughts to you. So it's not telepathy, that's telekinesis. No, that's the ability to move stuff with your brain. I forget what it. Yeah, this is Skinny Bob right here, man. Skinny Bob. It was measuring his height and weight. This is messed up, man. I hope he's okay. Yeah, that was Skinny Bob back in the day, man. But let's see. Yeah, and this guy got a testimony about some tall grays back in the day. So we still went over tall grays. I'm not very organized with all this. It's a little bit chaotic, you know, but that's okay.
How many different versions of these life forms have been discussed with you?
On mission, I can say 3 I know of. 2 mainly, tall whites, grays. Those are the main.
And are the tall whites like this one that you encountered? The one with the big eyes?
Yes, like that.
But that wasn't that tall, you said?
He says that the tall whites go through a growth cycle where they're kind of normal height, but they're very long-lived. They live like 800 years or more. But when they start getting older, then they get very tall, like 70.
So what I understand is tall whites are different than tall grays. tall whites and grays are completely different species. Because this dude said this thing lives to be 800 years. I think this is a whole different category. But what I understand is that the tall grays live to be, or they end up growing up to be like short grays. And you know, they youngins, they shorties in the hood, and they end up getting big, about 6 to 9 feet. You know, about 6 to 8 feet on average when they get tall grays. When they short grays, they only pushing about 4 to 5 feet. You know,
foot tall, and then they begin to, you know, the bodies begin to not function properly and they die. Kind of like somebody who has a growth problem.
Oh, like a giant.
so these tall whites live to be 800 years old, man. That's crazy. Well, that concludes this video. I don't know, you know, it probably sucked, but who cares? Hope you enjoyed it. Did you? Did you enjoy it? Well, I'll see you in the next one, man. See you.